Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the cafe. I hope you are all doing well tonight. I am smaller than usual. Somebody give me a super shroom. We. There we go. Now I think I'm slightly too big. Yeah, this seems right. This seems right. Anyway, hi. I hope you're all doing well tonight. You may have noticed I did not post a schedule for this week on social media. That's because I've spent literally my entire weekend. I've been playing Pokemon Legends ZA. Mr. Barista will vouch for this. I've basically been on the couch all weekend going through and playing that. Like, I'm a level with you. I didn't even start getting ready to do this until about half an hour ago. And even then, that was just turning things on and making sure I had all the posts and everything ready to go. So that's why there's no usual schedule post for this week yet. At this point, I don't know if there will be. It'll just be like, surprise, motherfucker, here I am. As if that's not kind of usually how it goes anyway, since I don't post times to start anymore. But, you know what? It's my cafe. It's my rules. I'm doing what I want. I'm doing it live. I'm drinking coffee at 11:30 at night at my time. You do you, I'll do me, and that's how it'll be. We're going back to court, which is why we're dressed in the model outfit made by the immaculate Saint Cisco. That's why we look extra spiffy. December 30th, 9:41 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. Nova, you calling me a lucky duck in response to that. There are no ducks. Ducklet isn't there. At least if there is, I haven't found it yet. I find it somewhat entertaining. I've taken at least a couple of the same team members that I had when I was playing Pokemon Y. Oops. Oop, hang on. Nightbot, why? Oh, okay. Nightbot, what are you doing? Nightbot, that wasn't a link! Nightbot, please. Oh, dear. Okay, well. Nightbot, go home, you're drunk. Yeah. It's very vigilant on whether or not they're spacing around periods, I guess. Words. Words are hard. I'm just checking something real quick. Let me try that again. If you want to. You do that. I'm taking another late night sip of coffee before I get into this. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. In response to, you do you, and I'll do me. And we won't do each other! Not sorry, the joke was right there. No, see... One time Markiplier said that. You do you, I'll do me, we won't do each other. Probably. So I say it like that all the time, but I decided to switch it up for once. And throw things all over the floor here. Excuse me while I do my Michael Jackson lean. While I pick the shit up that I dropped. There we go. Well, if I was Michael Jackson leaning, I'd be going this way. Did y'all hear that there's like a biopic movie about him coming out? I don't remember when it's supposed to be coming out, but I know it's coming out. I've seen people talking about it in clips. Yeah, it's supposed to come out next year, I think. Yeah, here. I googled it. I'm not just pulling this out of my brain. It's supposed to come out April 24th of next year. So there's that. But while we wait the King of Pop, we got this David Bowie wannabe looking motherfucker. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Oh, it's probably Regina, isn't it? Who else would go, hee-hee? Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Girl, that is a whole carton of milk. That is not just... Okay. Regina! How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous! Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Why the fuck would milk help? I don't know. Maybe he needs the calcium boost so his bones survive whatever flight takes out of him. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Oh god. I read Top of the Morning and I almost just broke out into the worst Jacksepticeye impression ever. Because he's like the only Irish person that I can think of most of the time. Top of the morning to you, laddies! Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo! How low can you go? Mo. Something Pearl did it. Hello, Jordan. How are you tonight? We're all over the place. And by we, I mean me. It's the royal we kind of thing. Okay. Top of the morning to you, governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. Not at all. My ankle would fucking snap before I even got a quarter of the way. Mood. Big mood. Well, maybe only on one side. The other side has pins and plates and everything to keep it in check. Doing good? Well, that's good. Glad to hear it. Any new video work that you've been working on? Or are you taking a bit of a break or anything for now? My left would go first, and then my right. Yeah, same. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Aha! 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 Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my! Thanks. So how are you today, right? Well, I've got a feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? Yeah, that's like my one thing. That's my one circus trick. It's just keep asking everybody things. I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Psychological warfare of, where were you on the night of the 21st? What do you mean you don't remember? Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. You know, it's good to see that somebody's actually looking out for her. Like, and the fact that she needs to grow as a person and is not just going to shelter her for the rest of her life. Not just, oh, sweetie pie princess, oh, she's so perfect just the way she is. I mean, not mentioning the fact that she's a child, that she's only 16. She really needs a reality check on how the world actually works outside the circus. Because unless something changes, the circus ain't gonna be there forever. And it's time for her to see that. December 30th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Yeah, but you should make sure she gets a therapist. I am just a lawyer. I don't think that's in my job description. They should make sure she gets a therapist. Yes, somebody should. It'll probably be Mo because he's like her de facto father figure now. Well, not even just de facto, he's like the only father figure she's got left because her real father got fucking murdered. Sorry, still breaking in the new phone. Totally fine. You are totally fine. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order, order! Man, we haven't even started and the judge is already calling for order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Phoenix, get out of my head. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Snow White, why are there so many birds in here? Who left the windows open? It's December! Name and occupation. Ah, shit. Again, I watched it back. Do I remember what fucking voice I gave him? Not exactly. I remember it was like relatively cooler and calm kind of sounding, because everybody else is all over the place and fucking nuts. Now why would he do that when the two of you work together? Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. He is probably the first witness we've had this entire series that has actually answered the name and occupation question without a problem. Where were you on the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. Crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. Damn, Edgeworth would love to have that. Yeah. If he ever shows back up, if he's not actually dead or anything, I bet Franziska will totally rub that in his face. Miles Edgeworth, I actually got a witness to list their name and occupation without a fight. It was just after 10 p.m., and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. Yeah, it's the ghost of Christmas past. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind. But that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. Edgeworth responding to Franziska actually getting a name and occupation out of a witness. You what? His cravat flies off in shock. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings, there's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Well, don't sound so enthralled about it. Okay, so it was sort of emphasized that we can't / shouldn't press him too much. So let's take a look again. Heard a thump. Saw someone flying. It was Max, but I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. Okay, tell me more about it. Fran, girl, we need to get you a book of words that have similar meanings. A thesaurus. Yeah, I think that would help. But it's also very fun to just sit here and say the word fool no less than 4 times in 5 seconds. Yeah, that shit. Don't you know, it's a librarian's favorite dinosaur. It's a thesaurus. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. Look, I knew the word, but I can't spell shit. Sure you can, you just did. S-H-I-T. Shit. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside. Ah! That was a disproportionate response. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy with this latest bit of testimony. I mean, probably. If Phoenix is saying that there might be, we can at least check it out. I mean, we've got a full health bar. It's not going to be the end of the world if we fuck up a little bit. We've done it before. We can do it again. We're doing it live. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Phoenix, that seems a bit intense, but okay. contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence.
I'll show you some these nuts.
Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
Okay, let's see what we've got. I'm gonna throw the lion at you, Judge. Made to order hat that is a symbol of Max's fabulousness, found at the crime scene. Could it be that, like, if he was already up so high, how could he see the hat if the hat was found at the crime scene, or how could he not see it fall down? I think this is probably what we're going with. Like, if you saw the hat, then how was it still on the ground? You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Whoa, lion be upon you. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. Well, I mean, I think we do end up with all three in this game. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. Phoenix, that's a bit rude. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on scene. That's the ringmaster's hat. Right. Boy! I get you don't like the guy, but come on! Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. It almost looks like it could be mine. Here, hang on, let me. Yeah, it's my hat now. To be fair, if it was like a different shade of purple, I could rock it. Too bad I'm not on like a different layer. Like, just tuck myself up under the hat. It's a magic trick. It's a barista in a hat. It's a hat for a boat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
Judge. Judge, please. Gooby, please. No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand.
Order, order.
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. If I knew how to make shit in V-Roid, I would make one, lol. I'm not worried about it. Somebody's probably done it. If I was really that pressed about it, I could look into it. I mean, there was something else that I wanted to look into that I was able to find. So, that's exciting. You'll all be able to see that at some point.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
Well, he doesn't have a grudge against Max, per se. His grudge is with Regina. Because he blames her for everything that happened. Obviously, he wasn't dreaming, so... Here we go! Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion?
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Murder. Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. Ha ha ha. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. And here I thought she was about to call me a clown. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. Bro's chill as fuck. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. Phoenix is getting poked! I know, I just like making funny shit for my friends. Listen, we're talking about funny shit that you've made for me. I need to add that cursed emote that you made. I tried to explain it to one of my IRL friends, but he didn't know the source material for it, so I had to explain it to him. And by the fact of I had to explain it to him, it really... In my brain, it, like, dulled the impact of showing him what my character would be in the cursed image, so I just ended up not showing him. But introducing him to the original image was definitely something in and of itself. He's one of those people I tend to think we're very like-minded in our meme library. But in the past 2 days, I've had to explain 3 different memes to him, so I guess I was wrong. Well, maybe not memes, but I had to explain to him what the Ben Drowned creepypasta was. Along with one of the numerous Grimace memes. As well as the Obama. Obama chuckled.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
I had to explain all 3 of those to him within the past, like, 2 days. In between playing Pokemon. Which, granted, was not that hard, but, like... It was not anything I planned to do with my weekend. On that note, Desk's reaction to it is still one of the best shits I've read. Yeah, no, that was... It was very good. And that, we're on an ad break, so we will be right back. We're back! Jordan says, look, I've had to explain Homestuck to people. Listen. All I know about Homestuck is that it's incredibly convoluted to try to explain to somebody, so more power to you for that. I've had to explain to people about Disney Fair. Jesus. Disney Fair's fairy games where the garden fairy says she doesn't like mud, and then another fairy points out, but you're a garden fairy, as she says, ironic, ain't it? And like, compared to me working in a beer cafe and a grocery store, despite both hating the taste of beer and not being able to drink it for medical reasons. Yes, that is quite ironic. Now, I think you might have to, it might take a little bit for it to show up, but Nova, I did make a certain change to the emotes. While we were on our little break there. Anyway, Acro is staying rather calm and collected.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I? There it is. What's wrong, chat? Could it be you're craving my McLattes? Alright, hang on. But before we continue, this seems to be the perfect text to have this on. This is what it is. Dear friend of the Café, Supernova EX drew this up while we were having a conversation about their twerking Bidoof emote. And, you know, yes, that twerking Bidoof emote. And the brief thought that I was in fact hiding a twerking barista emote somewhere. Which I guess now I kind of am. But I said, instead of that, it's this. But the original, what's wrong, Ronald Coon? Could it be you're craving my McNuggies? But now it's me. So, you know what? Apparently I can. I look away for a second and I came back to this. Yes. McNuggies barista. What's wrong, Jordan? Could it be you're craving my McLattes? You know, just for that cursed barista staying in the corner today. A little smaller. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, Nova drew McNuggies barista. I have achieved the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I think Acro is saying what a lot of people are thinking. I don't really need to say a thing, do I? You don't have to. I've drawn cute shit, I've drawn cool shit, I've drawn slightly NSFW shit, and now... Cursed. Well, yes, that's why the emote is... It's just called Cursed. Also, it gives me a big old bumpy. I'm a fan of that. Anyway.
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. Wow, I'm getting called a poopy head. see that, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I guess. If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. Oh yeah, Jordan says, oh yeah, I ordered an Alienware laptop over the weekend, so I might be able to get some VTuber stuff to work. I'll have to test it out. Hell yeah, I love that for you. Are you thinking more 2D, 3D? Like Sprite, PNG, or what is your plan? Like, what are you thinking? Nova says, wow, pretty ableist of the jury to assume a disabled person can commit murder. Nova, bold of you to assume there's a jury. There's not. It's just the judge. I think that's enough of this little game. I got the doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. I don't know what those fuckers are called. Well, depending on which justice system you're under, the members of the jury are called jurors. But in the Phoenix Wright world, there is no jury. There are no jurors. It's literally just the judge. All these people are here just to, like, watch. Jordan says, probably 3D. I tried it with my Steam Deck earlier this year, but I couldn't get it to work. Ah, gotcha. Well, I hope it works out well for you. Oh, well, I meant those fuckers. That's fair. Not that I'm any kind of expert by any stretch of the imagination, but do not be afraid to make use of whatever, like, software you decide to use has to offer. Like, for people who know what they're doing, certain software can be, like, super, super awesome. Like, all of this outfit, all the details and everything, Sane Cisco made in Vroid. But even some of the base stuff that they have, like some of the outfits and stuff, they're pretty slick. Like my whole Halloween outfit. Like this whole outfit, the outfit itself is straight out of Vroid. I didn't touch it. All I did was fuck around with the ears and the coloring of the eyes. Yeah, Vroid is what I used when I first started. Yeah. And granted, I've been streaming for like less than a year, and I obviously don't know everything about everything, like all the different kinds of software that you can use, but Vroid has treated me well. Even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you still make something half decent with Vroid. Yeah. And like if you're more artistically inclined, you can get like more shades and shadows and different color things on your models. You can make them more textured. Like you can even see just the difference between normal me. Oh. Hang on. Minion crashed. I disappeared. Hang on. We'll be right back. Okay, here I am. This is the second time this has happened today, where I like tried to open one avatar, realized I clicked on the wrong one. Then when I tried to open the right one, it crashed. So I tried to open one to show it off, and Nova did the redeem for the Malinois model, so it crashed. But yeah, if you really know what the fuck you're doing, you can do this shit. Yeah, it would help. It would help if I hit the correct buttons in Vignon to show it around. But yeah, like all the textures and everything, like on the leg here. Getting real close. No free upskirt. Like all these details and stuff, that's all like painted on. Like the arm guards. Like the whole skeleton arm and everything. Zoe did all of this in Vroid. No free upskirt, but free feet. I mean, do you see toes? I don't see toes. If anything, it looks like I got socks. I mean, there are models I have where I show feet. But this is not one of them. I was joking. Well, I mean, you got free feet anyway, they just don't have toes. But yeah. In my limited and humble experience and opinion, Vroid's something good to go with. As far as whatever software you want to use to actually, you know, show up the model, there's like Vignon, Warudo, things like that. I have only... Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, I was eating a cracker, a black pepper cracker, and like a hunk of black pepper just hit me in the back of the throat. But yeah, I have only used Vignon, but I know there's other programs, like I said, like Warudo. And I think there's another one, like, that you can use with your phone to have more facial expressions, like, I think it's called VC Face or something like that. There's a sister website where you can find stuff made by people that you can buy or get for free. Yeah! Vignon is what my ex was recommending to me when I was gonna try. And if that's something you want to try again, by all means do so. I don't know if it's one of those things where having the association with the ex might sour it, but there are plenty of other good programs out there. It's one of those things, it's a matter of just sort of trying things out and seeing what works best for you. This works for me because I know it. I've gotten it to work. It hasn't completely broken on me, and it works consistently enough. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, it's relatively easy to just sort of save a setting for something, copy it, and re-enter it. That's why I have all the different outfit redeems that I do. Because you can make it all talk to each other. I have yet to quite figure out how to make the outfit redeems stop. I followed the instructions to the letter, but I guess I fucked something up somewhere along the way because the outfits don't turn off. Like, they don't go back to normal after the set amount of time that they're supposed to. I just kind of do that on my own. But that's okay. If you get a couple extra minutes of me wearing whatever outfit you decide to put me in, that's fine. I mean, it's not like there aren't plenty of outfits to choose from. Anyway, back to court. Now that we're dressed up like a Malinois, it's Court of the Dead, am I right? I really want to get at some point. It's the new Percy Jackson universe, Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro jointly written book about Nico D'Angelo. I'm very looking forward to it. Also, I mainly redeemed it to show it off. If you want to switch back to the anime model, that's alright with me. I mean, I will, when the timer's up. But we're not there yet. Court of the Dead. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. It was Pearl.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
No. Because, given how beloved the Ringmaster is, I don't think anybody would be willing to help him kill him. Also, I seriously doubt you could get the monkey to cooperate enough to kill somebody. So I'm gonna say he didn't. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
Okay, rude. There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Order, order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I mean, ye of little faith, goddamn. I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling?
Well, he was in his room. He's told us multiple times, and we have corroborating evidence and stuff that he can't get out of his room alone. So he must have done it from there. He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
Thank you for calling off your attack, bird. It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering the way you propose is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
I mean, rude. I just told you. I just told you where he was. Not impossible, just very difficult. Exactly, Nova. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. He had 6 months to plan. Yeah. I mean, if that was what he really wanted to do. Like, if he started, like, as soon as he could. I'd say maybe more like 5. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. Gotta give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Try to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
Well, let's see what we've got. He threw the monkey at him. No. I mean, this bust statue looks pretty hefty. Taken from the cafeteria before the crime. Now, I seriously doubt as he would have taken the bust himself, but like, let's take another look. Look how like shiny these cards are made to look. I bet it looks like that specifically to make you think that Money the Monkey took it because he really likes shiny stuff. So maybe I'm thinking the train of thought is that Money really liked the shiny statue, stole that, And that's how Acro started to put things together. Or at least that was, like, the thing that he was gonna do to commit a murder. Because, like I said, it looks pretty sizable. It looks pretty hefty if it's supposed to be, like, a life-size bust of somebody. And it's made out of bronze, it says, so that's gotta be pretty hefty. Even though he can't walk, he can still... He's a trained acrobat. He's gotta have some sick upper body strength. So he could probably at least lift it up enough to, like, get it on the windowsill and just shove it out. And, like, maybe he had a rope on it or something to be able to pull it back up so it wouldn't just be, oh, somebody dropped this out the window and killed the ringmaster. Because if that was the case, then it would still be down there. And it would have been obvious. It would have been like, Acro, why did you do this? This is the only place it could have come from. That's what I'm thinking. We'll at least try it and see how it goes. Present evidence. I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry?
The bust. We're gonna go with that.
What's that? A picture?
Yes, Your Honor. He managed to paper cut him in a way that ended up replicating something very heavy getting dropped on his head. Come on, man! It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust. We're back to Max's bust! And it's quite a large bust. And because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Look, girl, we know you don't know about heavy bust. It's okay. You're still only 18. You could still have, like, a late growth spurt or something. I don't know. Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! Oh, he's angry. The birds are gone. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust! A couple of Thoban hunk rows. Humongous Hanganana Nono Logangus. I can't even make this shit up. It wrote itself. Somebody else wrote it. It's already there. I can't say anything that they didn't outright say themselves.
Order, order!
Gigantic mommy milkers. I wouldn't say Max is mommy. Not yet. If you're looking for mommy milkers, go hang out with Mez and Lucy for Mommy Milky Monday. They're good people. Also, that's not even me being silly. That's literally what they call it. And it's incredible. Look, you get what I'm trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. Them tiggle bitties. Like I said, some Doban honkeros. Humongous Hanganana Nolologangus. Listen, if I remembered the whole rest of that Tumblr post, I would say it. But I don't. So I'm not.
So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster?
How did he die? Motorboating accident. A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? Oh shit, I think it changed back. Yes, because I did it. Because I was keeping my eye on the timer. And I switched it back myself. Oh, damn. Like I said, I'm sure it's because I'm missing, like, just one small thing. I just haven't... I haven't made the time to go and look into it and fix it. Listen, It works. It turns itself on. That's the main thing. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. I mean, with that attitude, maybe. I mean, even if you go above the weight limitations of certain things, it still works for a while before it breaks. Girl, how the fuck do you think plus-size people use wheelchairs? She probably doesn't. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, 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 Acro, you can't run away from things this time. Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There is absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. Acro's physical state. Well, he's right there. Ad break is up. We'll be right back. We're back! At least we should be. And if we're not, well, that's unfortunate. Let's get going. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I mean, I guess.
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Can't let her get to me. Gotta focus. Suppose I could have listed something on the size. I have a strong upper body. Lifting the bust and looking out the window was impossible. No way I could do that. Let me look at something. Because if I remember correctly, when the ringmaster got there, like the... Okay, so the note says, to the murderer, you haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago. I have conclusive evidence. Meet me at 10 p.m. at the Lodging House Plaza. And if I remember correctly, when he got there, all that was there was the box. So, if the box was placed beforehand, and... forgot that was the thing. Don't accidentally try to scroll at something out of window when you're still tapped into something. You'll get that. What was I saying? Right. So... Ringmaster gets to the plaza, there's nobody there. Only the box is there. And he's like bent over the box. If Acro put the box there in the first place, because he was the one who put the note in Regina's pocket, if he somehow got the box there, he would know where it was. So he wouldn't necessarily need to see exactly where it was because he knew where it would be. I think that's what I'm going with. We'll at least give it a try. Like I said before, we've got a full health bar. We can try. Acro. You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. Yeah, exactly. Your silly hinting at things is pointless. Mr. Phoenix Wright! Enough stalling! How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Phoenix, it's okay.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Fine. Maybe you should take a look at this. Oh, right, the crime scene photo. I forgot that was the thing. Key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over.
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? What are you, an owl? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. I mean, let me look at it again. This 20-pound box. So it's not a light box by any means. I mean, it's not super heavy, but it's one of those things you would probably bend over, and if you lift it up, you're like, ugh. You know, you grunt with the effort of trying to lift it up or something. At least that's my assumption. So he was like listening for the sound of somebody trying to lift up the box or trying to open the box or something. And once he heard that sound, he was like, bombs away. I think that's what the game is getting at. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No!
Order, order, order! This is unbelievable!
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright? Ow, ow, ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. I think we'll be getting to the contents later because the contents probably point more towards motive. Like, if I'm right and this is going where I think it's going. Okay, so I'm thinking like probably 5 steps ahead of where I should be, and I'm probably gonna miss a step somewhere. So what I'm thinking, based on the evidence, Acro placed this note in Regina's pocket. Regina's a fucking dumb twit. So even though it was specifically put in her pocket, she didn't think it was for her because she's like, I'm not a murderer. I don't think Acro meant to kill the ringmaster. I think he meant to kill Regina. He was trying to call her out to get her out there to get her with the bust. Now, whether or not he planned on using the bust or some other heavy shit that, like, the monkey had brought up to his room at some point, I think he was just so upset by, you know, everything for the past 6 months of his life. His brother's in a coma that he's never gonna wake up from. He's in a wheelchair for potentially the rest of his life, and she's just going around like nothing's wrong. Because she's just so naive. And it probably was just grating on him and making him more upset, and there wasn't anything he could do about it. So I think that's part of why, that's part of why they want us to say that the box is as heavy as it is. Because we've seen Regina. She does not look very physically strong. And like I said, it's a big enough looking box that anybody trying to lift it who doesn't lift like a decent amount of weight on a regular basis would probably make some kind of grunt of effort because, oh, this is heavier than what I'm used to picking up. They'd be like, ugh. You know, on top of the whole, he placed the box there so he would know where it would be. But since the note got intercepted because Regina didn't, even though it was in her pocket, it was specifically for her, she didn't put it together and keep it for herself. The ringmaster saw it, he probably, he knew something was up. Whether he knew it was like Acro being upset about something or, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But that's why I think the contents of the box are important, because it goes back to the motive. Is that Acro wanted to kill Regina because she was in that prank war with his brother or whatever, and she's the one... Wait, we don't actually have that, do we? No, we don't have it because Franziska took it. That scarf that we got. The scarf that had the blood on it. I think... I could be completely misremembering. I think there was... It said something about how there was pepper on it. Pepper on the scarf. And because of that, we thought that the whole thing was... Because of that, it wasn't the lion actively biting down on his head. The lion sneezed, and that's why he made that weird face. Why everybody says it looked like he was smiling. He wasn't smiling. He was, you know, doing the ah part of the sneeze. And of course, the onomatopoeia for a sneeze is achoo. And what does your mouth do when you say achoo? Goes back to go ah, and then your teeth come together when you say chew. So that's why again, I'm probably like 5 steps ahead of everything, and I'm probably not even completely right, but I think that's why the pepper's in the box. So, like, if the box was opened, then you would see... If you're anybody who's not Regina, who's familiar with the event, you would put it together, oh, this has something to do with that. At least that's my thought. But, again, I'm like 5 steps ahead of myself, so I need to step back, and we need to point out that it's the weight of the box right now. Box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. Yeah, large enough that when, you know, when he got killed, he, like, fell over onto it. He's, like, draped over it. Yeah, it's big enough that he's draped over it. I mean, it's got these handles to make it easier to lift, so it's not like you're just sitting there trying to finagle it. But...
box also has carrying handles on either side.
That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. If you're using proper lifting form, yes. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I think it was in the cafeteria. We have a picture of that. No, that's the map. Autopsy report. Yeah, taken from the cafeteria before the crime. I mean, the bar isn't showing up. I forgot. No, it was in the cafeteria. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? I don't think you did. You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that! Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Are we really calling the monkey an accomplice? Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Pearl gave it to him. I think the bust weighs as much as she does. I would not doubt a bronze statue bust of a guy, of a 20-something-year-old guy being the... Like, especially if it's solid bronze, I think that would be heavier than an 8-year-old girl. And again, I don't know how much the average 8-year-old girl weighs. I don't know how much the average anybody weighs. I don't know shit about weight. Other than I have more of it than I should. Oh well. It is what it is. Now, this cursed image of me, this literally looks more like what I actually look like in real life. Except my ass is not that big. Pearl channeled a spirit that could lift it. What, did she leave a note with instructions? Hey, carry this bust up to this room and talk to this guy. Don't worry about it. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. And you don't look that cursed. Listen, the only thing about the cursed, are you craving my McNuggies barista that doesn't look accurate to real barista, like IRL barista, is the lack of arms and the hair. That's about it. Other than that, that's basically me. Jordan says yes. What, that she communicated her plan through a note and hoped that the spirit would go through with it? Okay. Gotta get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all.
Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room?
I still think it's the monkey! Fuck it, we ball!
A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Jordan, I think we need to get you a therapist to figure out what this thing you have against Pearl is. The thing against Pearl is the fact that she's the mastermind behind it all. She's gonna carry out all the crime.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying the witness had the monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. I don't trust her innocent act.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Ah! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order, order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait! Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? Possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Oh, he doesn't like that. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Hey, look, she found a word that isn't fool! Everybody cheer!
Yay! Hooray! Yay! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit busy. I'm still a bit dizzy, however.
What do you mean, however? What do you mean, dizzy?
His argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Oh!
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Hey, I'm not the one making up words like flamboozled. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself.
The bus looks like him, you dumbass.
Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer that the clown saw? You know, you raise a really good point, Nova. If he drops the bust from his window down onto the ringmaster's head, I don't know necessarily how, like, the cloak gets on there. Like, Listen, I'm gonna stretch because I think that's what the game is going for. I'm thinking, because, like, the ringmaster went out wearing the hat and the cloak. Because it was, you know, cold as shit. So, like, the impact from getting hit with this heavy-ass bust from 3 stories up, like, it was probably some kind of really big impact. Like, he, you know, gets knocked down on top of the box or whatever. God damn it, Nightbot! I know you're not posting links, but it doesn't like the lack of spacing after periods, I think. I'll have to play around with Nightbot later. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the game's gonna do something stupid like, oh, the impact of him getting knocked on top of the head, A, knocks the hat off, which makes sense, but B, somehow knocks the cloak off of his, like, if he only has it hanging on his shoulders, like, draped. Like, if it's only draped on his shoulders, then it could, like, get knocked off if he gets knocked down hard enough or something. But we're gonna go with he saw the bust. Sucks, I really don't feel like speaking all that out loud, but I know how it happened. I pieced it together. Yeah, and you said, get something that looks like the cloak, put it on the bust, put the bust on a rope, drop the rope on, and the bust out, you pull it up, and it looks like it's flying. For the hat, you just drop the hat after. I think you're on the right track. Let's see how it goes. I asked who the other person Mo saw on the was. I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frere, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Yeah, it still lets me see the messages. Because, you know, I can pull it up and see it. I don't know if it's just a mod thing, like a moderator thing, or if it's a me thing. Hang on, let me... Okay, give me 1 sec. Let's see if this helps. Okay. Maybe this will help. Anyway. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
How is that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? I can't tell if you're Bidoof twerking at what, at the music or something else. I'm not complaining. I'm just... There's one stuck just dancing on the text box. Bro's just throwing it back. We love you. The music? Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's very fair. This music's banging. No, sideways Bidoof, my beloved. The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
Nope. He caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
See, I'm thinking that the game is just so ridiculous that it wants me to say that because, like, there is no other cloak. If there was some other kind of cloak that Max had, like, if it's as one of a kind as his hat is, then the only way that the cloak got on the bust is, like I said, if they want me to say something ridiculous happened, like when the bust hit him, the cloak like flew up a little bit and caught on his shoulders. Or like with the way it was coming down, like some wind caught it and brought it up and put it on a cart or something. It sounds really fucking dumb. But I feel like that's how the game wants me to do it, because if like I said, if the cloak is as unique as the hat, then the only way the cloak could have been there is if it came off of the ringmaster. And we've got a full health bar, so if I'm wrong and I'm just going completely out of left field and it was like, actually, oh yeah, Acro did put a cloak on there just to make it look like it, we'll figure it out. We'll see. Fool him?
You were saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself! Nick, you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Let's step back in time into an ad break. And yet immediately get me throwing it back. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Alrighty. For one thing, it helps if I, unmute myself. We didn't get very far, so we're good on that front. Don't even know why my phone's speech-to-text is adding random periods and not putting spaces. I feel that on such a deep level. Mine makes me sound like Christopher Walken, because it just randomly, for no apparent reason, puts commas in when I'm saying stuff all the time. Like, if I'm saying something like this, if I'm saying just a basic sentence about, like, oh, it's raining outside today, it'll put in a bunch of commas instead and be like, oh, it's raining outside today. It's stupid. I hate it. The point is, looks like we're all good now. Let's step back in time to the day of the crime. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Yeah, and, like, the size difference between the two of them, like, the ringmaster's a pretty portly dude. It looks like he's a lot wider in the shoulders than the cloak is. So, it would make it easier for it to come off, I think. Because it doesn't fit him the way it fits Max. Why am I pointing over here? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it looks like the cloak wouldn't fit. It would barely sit on his shoulders. It wouldn't sit on his shoulders right. It'd be too small. At least that's what it looks like from here. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. That's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Like, the impact knocks him down. And, like, catches the cloak in a little wind burst. And makes it go up and land just right on the cards. Because obviously the hat gets knocked off. But let's keep going. You wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. Which I still think sounds stupid. The theory of, you know, if Acro really wanted to blame something on Max or try to hide what he was doing or something, he would have put, like, some kind of cloak on the bust before he dropped it. But then it also would have probably fucked up the drop itself. I don't know. I'm just a barista. I'm not a murder physicist. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls the Clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Yeah, because the bust already has the hat. And, like, the hat gets knocked off sides somewhere here where we can't see it. It gives the illusion. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Oh, he's just chill as fuck. Like, are we sure he isn't on, like, medical marijuana or something with just how fucking chill he is? I have to respect the hustle. Or the lack thereof. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So? What now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. He probably is, like, I can only imagine how painful it must be dealing with his leg issues. Yeah, like, depending on the nature of his leg issues, whether it's, like, nerves, or muscular, or skeletal, or all of the above. Like, I get the feeling that part of it is the nerves, because he kept saying that, or he didn't keep saying, but he said that, you know, lifting and looking out the window would probably hurt him more. So I imagine it's probably a combination of all of the above. Like, I am not a doctor. I am just a barista. But I imagine a lot of it is probably nerve-based. And as time is going on, he's having probably some muscle atrophy, and he probably does physical therapy and stuff. Like, we saw all kinds of weights and other exercise things in his room. But, like, let me look at something. Seriously injured both legs. Now, unlike with his brother's thing, from my understanding, the way it's been painted to us is that Acro, maybe if he works at it, gets the treatment he needs and all that, he could potentially walk again. Like, he could regain the use of his legs. I mean, he's only 6 months into treatment, and he's only 6 months out from when his injury happened. So, depending on how it works out, he could, you know, make a comeback at some point or something. As for his brother, he's still in a coma, and we've been told that he's probably never waking up. Or at least the chances of it happening are very low. I forgot where this whole thing was going. I forgot where this whole thing started and where it was going. But I think it probably, once again, had something to do with motive and just everything. In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well.
Your gavel works at the sound of her whip. Shut up.
Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
I can show you loads of evidence. Whether or not it's the evidence you want is a different question. Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? Contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Okay, so he wants evidence that it was the bust and that the cloak was on the bust. think this goes back to the hat. Because we found the hat at the scene of the crime. But if the hat was on the guy, and if the guy was the guy and he was wearing the hat, how was the hat back at the crime scene? If it was the bust has the hat on it automatically. Like, that's just the way it's made. I think we're going back to this. I think it's the hat. Be like, duh. I think that's what we're going with. The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Girl, you want me to explain myself or don't you? Excuse me. Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing the silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense if you look at it that way, that he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. Well, if the roses are on the cloak... Let me look. Let me check this out. Yeah, show me the award ceremony. Yeah, if the roses are on the front of the cloak... And... like, it comes up this way. Like, if we're right, then what we're looking at, this silhouette, this is the back of the cloak. Like, if we're looking at it from what Mo's POV was. Like, this is the back of the cloak. You can't see the roses on the back of the cloak. Because they're on the other side. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course. I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Yeah, they're just facing the other way. So, like, you see the cloak, you see the hat, but you don't see the roses because they're facing the other way. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Or at least, like, behind the cards, in between, you know, the chest of the bust, and, you know, behind the cards. So, no matter what way you look at them, you can't see them. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
Order, order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me.
Bro, trust me, it sounds absurd to me too.
However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Judging by the look on her face, I seriously doubt that. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive.
This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude toward the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Oh, so now we're finally getting to the motive. Thus, there is absolutely no one like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the Ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the Ringmaster. Acro's motive.
It seems this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued. Okay, so I really think we're on track with this. And I kind of want to just see this through to the end now. Because I already sort of explained what I think the motive was. But just to give it a quick recap here, because I think we're probably going to go over it in court. If we're going back to the motive, I don't think that Acro meant to kill the Ringmaster. I think he meant to kill Regina. But the Ringmaster intercepted the note because Regina doesn't have the cognizance awareness to find something in her pocket and think that it's for her, no matter how it's addressed. So the Ringmaster intercepts it, and he goes to see who or what is calling her out. But, since Acro can't physically be there, he's just, up on high getting ready to murder who he thinks is going to be Regina down there. He doesn't know that it's actually the Ringmaster. So I think, yes, he planned to kill, but he did not kill who he planned to kill. And I think that's where this is all going. I did not read the thing. December 30th, 2:17 p.m., District Court, courtroom lobby number, whatever number we're in.
I can't believe it. Acro?
Pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is, and to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did. Psst, psst. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal! You gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? I mean, you gotta assert yourself a little more there, buddy. Ah, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway. Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? You've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, Detective?
Well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. Oh, it's the scarf. Yeah, we were talking about that. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yup, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What did he mean by that? The very end part? Well, the end? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Ah! Don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? But me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me. Oh, maybe that means they're either making fun of him or they actually do kind of care. December 30th, 2:27 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court is now back in session. Ms. Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Akro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. Well, before we do that, we do have the scarf back. Bat's scarf stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. Well, that'll be helpful. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Akro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Oop. About the ringmaster. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Akro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real written need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Akro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. I don't really think we can get anything out of this one. Like, yeah, we could probably sit here and press him on everything, and he would just tell us the whole story of, oh yeah, our parents abandoned us. We came to the circus. He let us stay. He helped raise us. I owe my life to him. I'm gonna do everything I can to repay him. Basically just a longer version of what he just said. I don't think there's actually anything we can do with this. But whatever's coming next, I think, is what we need to do something with. But I don't know what that is yet. There's no need to cross-examine this witness.
What's that?
Why was the ringmaster murdered? There's no need to delve into that bit of testimony when I know the answer already.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Akro would want the ringmaster dead?
No. I think the answer actually is that I can't. Because if my theory is right, he didn't want the ringmaster dead. He wanted Regina dead. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Akro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Akro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Akro? You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the Ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What?
Order, order. Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Damn. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Oh.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that that girl was trying to kill someone else? Yes. Yes, I am. This is where we go. We're doing it. We're doing it live. He wanted to kill Regina. Regina Berry? Yeah.
This young girl is the Ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro? You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. Could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to... Oh!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
We'll do that after the break. Is this what you were looking for, Nova? We're just sitting here watching me throw it back for a minute while I clean up the crumbs off of my desk. Look, I like the cursed shit, okay? I mean, I would hope so. You made it. Anyway. Listen, I like the cursed shit too. If I didn't, we wouldn't have this. Sorry, I had something in my teeth there for a minute and it was really bothering me. Anyway, present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl. Probably the note. Like I said, he gave her the note saying, come here at this time. Barista, you have my full permission, or if there's any other cursed shit or shit in general you want made, please let me know. I can't promise it'll happen anytime soon, but I'll make it happen. I appreciate that, Nova. I really do. And I appreciate you in general. That's it. Fuck it. Rebrand. It's only McNuggies Barista now. Yeah, no, I think what's showing us the motive is the note. That's where it starts, is him putting the note in her pocket. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat.
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically titled, To the Murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Yeah, she told us so herself. It was in my pocket.
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. It's not a theory. A law theory. Thanks for watching. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. Yeah, which is why he couldn't have known that it was the ringmaster down there. He couldn't see. If he had seen the ringmaster, he wouldn't have done it in the first place. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, as he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick? Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. She's gonna have to!
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Jesus Christ! Oh no! Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish ideas and foolhardy foolish... I've missed it all. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Take a tiny sip, like a single drop sip of whatever you're drinking. Water, energy drink, coffee, whatever you've got. Take a tiny sip for every fool and you will be perfectly hydrated for the next few hours. Or however long if you're watching the VOD. If you're going to catch up, I don't know, take a couple of drinks, that ought to suffice. I'm not saying chug, 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 just like a little... Or if you're having alcohol, you're gonna have to get to the hospital. See, that's why I said just the tiniest sip. I'm sure somebody has counted the number of times that Franziska says fool. And if she can't handle it, Mo's gonna have to get her therapy. Yeah, I mean, she probably needs it anyway. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza in place of his lovely daughter. Even the tiniest sip of strong alcohol is not going to be safe with how many times this woman says fool. Exactly.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron!
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is gonna think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... it's the pepper that was in the thing. It's the pepper that was in the box, which is why it was in the box in the first place. It's also, I'd say it's also the decisive evidence because that's what I'm just repeating myself. It's the decisive evidence because that's what Acro put in the box.
Achoo! 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 Achoo!
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence was what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Barry's intended victim? Well, she didn't mean to hurt him, but he's still in a coma because of what happened.
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Regina, I mean Miss Regina Barry, is an animal tamer by trade. Girl, why are you calling somebody by just their first name? Do you like her too? Do you think she's cute or something? You're about the most age-appropriate person. You and Maya are about the only ones. Anyway, however, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. And what makes you say that, huh?
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? I think it was more than that. 'Cause... like, it was an accident, but the circumstances are what makes it different. She didn't mean to have Leon bite Bat. She only meant to make Bat sneeze with the pepper the way that he always made her. That was what we got. And she did that by putting the pepper on the scarf. Like, that's what we were told. We have the scarf, we have the evidence. So, like, it was an accident, but it was more than the accident itself. It has the basis in their relationship and in their pranks and stuff.
It's just a prank, bro.
The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat, because she put the pepper on the scarf and made Leon sneeze.
That's just a scarf.
Acro? This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina.
There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Ah, the bird's back! No! Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal.
Judge, what I do in my off time is none of your business.
But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
Still seem like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed, and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. Ugh. The fact that it goes that big splash of red just, ugh, gives me the willies. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me! What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object! For objection's sake! She's pulling an Edgeworth from the first one! I object! That was objectionable! Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? Of course I do, it's the truth. You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do, it's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother too, due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot!
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Phoenix, don't act surprised! Acro, you can't mean. Witness?
Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that? Probably the fact that we're still missing the murder weapon, among other things.
Pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where's the evidence that proves that claim?
Get the birds back! Get out of here! Man, get these birds out of here. I don't want another bird in court again.
Not for at least 7 years. You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or lack thereof, to be more precise.
The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. Okay, but Franziska's been there. We've been there. I feel like if it had been in his room, they would have found it by now. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Yeah, I feel like Franziska's thorough enough that she would have already had Acro's room searched, so it's not going to be there. As to where it is, I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's just see how it goes. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but... Why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma total justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. We found what you think we found in that room. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright? The bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. Looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin. But what about the scarf? And the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! The bust! Where is it now?
Where's the bust right now?
You're Phoenix Wright! You know where that bust is! I'm sure you do!
Not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where this bust is? Seems that this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support. Ah! I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings us to an end.
Jesus Christ, who wrote this?
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
Hold it! Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue.
Huh?
What? You need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Wow, rude. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Somewhere in the lodging house, somewhere in the big top, somewhere in this courtroom. Well, if they've already searched all over the circus, all over the lodging house, all over the tent, it's gotta be here. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very court.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all.
Okay, these are funny.
Hang on. We're gonna do some japes. We're gonna do a little silliness. So, given what's being presented to me, and what we know, it's gonna sound pretty wild, but like everything in this case is. What if Acro has the bust with him? Like, what if there's like some kind of like shelf or something on the bottom of his wheelchair, like behind his feet or something? What if there's something there for the bust to sit on? Like, what if he's got it with him? Like, they just showed up and searched his room. Where else was he gonna put it? And like, if they wheeled him off right to the prosecutor's office, like they said, the people who brought him probably don't know how much, how much he weighs, how much a regular wheelchair weighs. They probably carried it in such a way it didn't fall out. So the real answer, he probably has it on him. But I just saved it because I really want to see what happens if we say that the judge has it. It's,
What? Why did you stop talking all of a sudden?
Well, I'm just not really sure if I should say anything or not because the bust is under your honor's bench! You had to think about whether it was a good idea to say that.
What? What did you just say to me? That's a penalty.
Ah!
What's that? You want a double? Here you go.
Double, I knew I had a bad feeling about that.
Now hurry up and fix things.
Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That was funny. Okay, hang on. No, I didn't, no. I want to load. You better bring me right back to where, okay. We got a double penalty for saying it's on the judge's bench. Okay, what's gonna happen if we say it's with Franziska? It's,
Why did you just stop talking?
it's under the prosecutor's bench!
No, you don't mean that. Miss Von Karma!
Oh! Oh, 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 oh! Don't you think you're getting... Oh. Man down! Nick? Get up, Nick! Proceed, Your Honor.
I will when Mr. Wright opens his eyes.
Nick, are you okay? Who is this girl? This is no time for me to be losing my memory. That was good. I'm glad we did that. Okay, it was funny just to see how that played out. Obviously, it's on the witness stand. Bro, for this shit, Francisca would be held in contempt of court, be arrested for assault and battery, and be fined huge amounts of money. In the real world, probably, yes. In Japanifornia, not so much. Also, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. You came in like right before an ad break, so I apologize for that. Which is also why we're sort of just standing here for a sec. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping on in. I totally agree that, yeah, she'd be in lots of trouble if she did that in reality. But Japanifornia is, in fact, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, not real. Doesn't mean I don't want to be whipped by Franziska and have her heel in my throat, though. You and a lot of people that I know. You and a lot of the internet, apparently. And if that's what you're into, okay, cool. Me, I'd wait till she was at least 10 years older, because I don't think I feel good about an 18-year-old doing that, but that's just me. Alrighty. We should be back, so let's get back to it. We just said that the bus is on the witness stand. Acro? I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off of your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy. You have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. Oh, what is this music? I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Miss Franziska Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know? But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon? There's no way I can escape that. Damn. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
Can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing! Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know, I sure couldn't. Can't believe it. Me! Make a mistake! Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that! 'Cause she didn't. Exactly!
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro?
Yes, Your Honor?
Did you kill the ringmaster of the very big circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro! All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful.
So are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh, buddy. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot! I can't believe it. You beat me again. Nobody is happy about this. I feel bad for Acro. He meant to kill, but his story is tragic. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for him too. I'm not saying that going to murder somebody is necessarily the right choice, but I can see how he came to that conclusion. I feel like if he didn't have any hope that his brother could, regain consciousness someday, he probably would have just killed himself. But since Regina's actions are what caused the accident in the first place, he's putting the blame on her, which I don't necessarily fault him for, because that's what happened. She didn't mean any harm by it, but indirectly, she caused it. She caused his brother to be in a coma, he caused him to become disabled, and her overall naivete about just everything. Like he said, she was going around basically saying the thing that she said about people and beings that had died. Like her father taught her that when people and things die, they become stars in the sky. So I don't know if she doesn't know that that isn't actually dead, or I don't know what she knows about it, but I'm with him. If somebody grievously injured somebody I cared about, and they just went around being all innocent about it, like whether or not they actually knew any better, I'd get pretty pissed off too. Now, maybe I wouldn't straight up kill somebody about it. I probably wouldn't. I would probably say something to them first. Be like, hey, stop being an insensitive little child about it. Learn how reality works. And take responsibility for hurting not just my brother, but also me. I don't know. That's just me. But I'm also sitting here trying to imagine how I would react in such a scenario where I'm in his shoes and talking to a 16-year-old girl who only knows anything about the circus. Can't blame Regina for it. She was sheltered and didn't know any better. Yeah, you can't blame her for that. You can blame her dad for that. You can blame everybody who had anything to do with bringing her up. They kept her sheltered. So they're in part to blame for it all, too. And did the ringmaster deserve to die for this? Obviously not. It's just a lot of people failed her, and that failure led to catastrophe. And we know Regina's here, so we're gonna maybe we'll see in the after court thing how she's taking to that. Let's actually get there first. Why did Mo tell her nothing, though he was her uncle? That's what I'm saying. She was failed by multiple people. Like, it wasn't just her dad failing her, it was every other adult around her failing her. Like, it was just everybody failing to come together to, I hesitate to say properly raise her with some semblance of reality, but like, that's what it is. It was, I don't know if it was everybody just following the ringmaster's lead to keep her sheltered. One of those, oh, this is just how it's always gonna be, everything's gonna be fine. You know, that, I hesitate to say delusion, but like, the maintaining of the status quo of, oh, hey, we're the very big circus, this is our family, this is our life, this is just how things are. I feel like Mo wanted to tell her, but Russell told him no. I think you're right, because Mo's the reason she's here today, and that she had to see this. Because I think Mo mentioned at some point that he has kids himself. But since he's so dedicated to the circus, he's just not there. But maybe I'm just misremembering.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict.
Not guilty! Yay!
This court is adjourned.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Mo was also the one who was pointing us in the right direction as to what happened. Like, what happened with the incident in the past. So I feel like he's wanted to do right by her, but for one reason or other, he just never has been able to. And so this is sort of his way for trying to make up for it now. Like Phoenix has said no less than 3 times in the last hour, the only way to go is forward. Just... District 30, 4:27 p.m. December Court, Defendant Lobby number 5.
Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but if only at max, 1 million of them. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. If you worry about people too much, you'll be like this forever and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault!
Sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back! Now everyone's gonna split up! Regina? Mr. Wright, tell me something! What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end!
I just couldn't up and leave yet. Isn't it fucking creepy though that Mac's an adult? Literally everybody who has any kind of hots for her has been creepy.
That's part of what brings this whole case down for me. It's like everybody who's expressed interest in her is at least in their 20s. Like, yeah, you've got Maya saying she's cute and Franziska talking to her, but like referring to her by her first name and not her full name like everybody else does, but like, ugh. I have hots for Franziska, not for Regina. Good. Congrats. The bar's in hell and we've passed it. We did it, Reddit.
I couldn't just up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Acro... Is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? I don't think so. Well, for one thing, he's going to jail. So I don't know how he could. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I can believe that? Yep. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. Probably got to do with his brother. If I had to guess. I couldn't just up and leave yet because he wants to hopefully see his brother wake up someday. I think that's probably what we gotta do. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. That! That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know? I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then until he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. Sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay! I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. What did you think about Max? I laughed when we saw he was just a country boy. I thought that was pretty funny, too. I thought it was entertaining that, you know, we've got this very flamboyant, fabulous guy, and he's actually just a country boy named Billy Bob Johns. I liked that. I thought that was entertaining. Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. Oh. Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. Matt. Nick. Donkey! It seems like everything's going to turn out all right here. I can't wait to see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats. Oh. You can take the clown out of the outfit, but you can't take the I don't know. Barista! Yes, Nova, what's up? What'd I miss? Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. I liked Mo. He was not funny, but he was endearing. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. Acro really was the killer. I thought this was the only way it could end. Nothing, I just thought we were saying names. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you needn't worry. I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Episode 3, Turnabout Big Top, the end. A brand new episode has been added. Episode 4, Farewell My Turnabout. He's alive! Yes, Nova. He is in fact alive. He was just on vacation. It's fine. My man, he's okay! Yes, he is! I honestly forgot about that little scene there at the end. If I had remembered about it, I probably would have made more hints to it or something. But yes, Edgeworth's still alive. You can rest easy now. He's at least alive as far as the end of this case. Who knows what's coming next? Now, okay, so we've made it through the case that basically everybody hates the most throughout the whole series. The only things I didn't really like about it... Barista! What? Are we just saying names again? Or are you just still too excited? Listen, I hope you enjoyed the fact that I at least took McNuggy's barista off when he showed up. I hope you appreciate that. Don't scare me like that. Like what? Like I said, at least as far as the end of this case, he's still alive. He's going on a plane. Things happen in planes. Like you fly through the sky and get subjected to the wind god. Don't worry about it. Like saying he could still die or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, as of right now, he's alive. That is not the image I wanted. Hello, Jimbo. Goodbye, Jimbo. Ah! Listen. Let's put it this way. Hello, McNuggy's barista. McNuggy's barista is here with me, and we're gonna hold your hand while we say this. Oh, apparently not. He's on the cover for the next case. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he'll be there. He'll be okay. He's fine. At the very least, he's gonna show up and Phoenix is probably gonna he's gonna cry because he missed him so much and he's like, I thought you were dead for a year, blah, blah, blah. But, you know what? You're so right. We didn't get to show our badge at all today. We really needed to do that. But yeah. So, like, as I was saying, I know that a lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean most people, hate this case. Because it's convoluted, they don't like the characters. Obviously, the whole, everybody has the hots for a 16-year-old. That's the part I really hated the most about it. Like, if that was different, if Regina was at least age of majority, like 18, okay, I still wouldn't be a fan of it because I'm 30. The concept of an 18-year-old is like, that's just a baby. Like, you show me a picture of an 18-year-old, I will say, who is this infant and who let them get like a driver's license? Like, no. It's why I don't simp for Fran. Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and yuck everybody's yum. She's got a lot of the things that people really like. Ooh, powerful lady with a whip, step on me. Sure, okay, cool. If that's your thing, fine. That's not my thing. Especially when it's coming from an 18-year-old. Like, if I were still around 1822, I absolutely would. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm too old for this shit. Now that I'm 26, it's just meh. Yeah. Like, frankly, that's the thing I hated the most about this case. It wasn't, like, how the characters were written or anything. Words. It's like Saint was saying, like, Mo was endearing. I thought it was entertaining that Max was just a country bumpkin who rose the ranks and became, like, the world's greatest magician, and now he's fabulous. I thought that kind of shit was cool. But, like, I can see how other parts of it, like I said, the convolutedness of, oh, the cape got snagged on the bus because this. Some of it, yeah, it was a bit silly. It was a bit of a reach, even for Ace Attorney, as far as we've seen it to this point. Does that mean I hate it? No. The only thing I hated about this case was the fact of, again, everybody who showed any kind of interest in Regina was at least over the age of, like, 22, and she's only 16. That's about the only thing I actively hate about this case. Other than that, it was fine. Like, we got some interesting characters, we got to have some other out-of-court interactions with, like, Franziska and Gumshoe. Like, we got to see some other things, and like Nova said earlier, unlike Edgeworth, Franziska hasn't really gotten out of her perfectionist thing. Like, she hasn't really learned yet. She's not actively trying to make the improvements yet. Like, even by the second or third case we did against Edgeworth, he was actively trying to help us get to the truth, not just, oh, I gotta beat this guy. Which is why she's so upset. She's all like, why did I do that? If I hadn't done that, I would have won. She's still just interested in winning, not actual justice and the truth. But again, like Nova's saying, Franziska still has a lot of baggage. Apparently not just about her dad. She doesn't seem to have any baggage about that, the way we see her. But she has baggage about Edgeworth, and maybe since he's gonna be coming back, maybe that'll get addressed. I don't know. So, long story short, I don't think this case should get all of the hate that it does. Some of it, yes. Well, maybe not hate, but rather, oh no, thank you. Like, that's about where I'm at with it. It wasn't bad, I didn't hate it. I'm not saying it's the greatest Ace Attorney case ever, but it wasn't completely god shit awful. It wasn't like somebody was sitting there, I don't know, there wasn't anything that made it so horribly cringe and unbearable that I could not get through it. I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it. Am I gonna go back and, like, replay it just for the funs at some point? Probably not. But do I hate it as a case? No. No, I don't. Again, older Franziska for the next Ace Attorney game. Ace Attorney 7? Listen. That would be cool. That would be cool. That would be very cool. But for now, let's get our happy asses out of court, out of the cafe. Let's go somewhere else. Where are we going to go? Shit, I don't know. That's a lie, I do know. Get out of here, ads. We're not gonna be here long enough for you to go off. Yeah, let's... Stop the sneeze from happening. I don't want that. Let's go for something different. We are gonna go visit Neon Harper, who is doing, in the middle of a subathon. This is the season for subathons. They are doing some Super Mario World NES with retro achievements. I don't know, it just looks like a good time. Go hang out, bring some latte love. Go see what they're up to. You can join us for that. Or not. I'm not the boss of you. I'm barely the boss of myself. Thanks for the wonderful stream. Well, thank you for being here. As always, thank you all for showing up for however long you showed up for, whether you were only here for a bit, whether you're still here now, stopped in for a little bit, watched the whole thing. No matter what, I appreciate it. Like we say, time is the only commodity that you can spend that you can't get back. And I appreciate however much... Ah! Go take your meds, go drink some water, go eat some food, get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.